Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Mecha Games Weekly Report. This is something we're going to try to do. This is like a New Year's resolution sort of thing, where we want to talk about the week that just happened, what's coming up, and what's going on around the store, and in the hobby in general sort of idea. So I have Brad with me. Hello, Brad. Brad, of course, is my business partner, but also runs the store and deals with all the distributors, all that sort of stuff. So he knows all about this stuff. I just buy things when I can. So
we all
do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some of the releases coming up. Bear with us as we evolve this segment. We're planning on doing this each Tuesday and getting it out. For that, there'll be other content too. We're really going to try to push forward and getting all our content done.
Just talk about kind of what's going on at the shop this week and next week and lead into it and just kind of be a way to touch base with the community, I think.
Exactly. And it's fun that way. It's just like getting back to the roots of why we got a store in the first place. And that sort of thing. It's the idea of the hobby and that sort of thing. And it's like this past week, because I've been bad for hobby lately.
I've been doing pretty good, but it's been painting a lot of white, which is not the most fun color to paint. So
no, what are you painting? White?
I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm painting an entire horse heresy army of 30k white scars. So it's a lot of white Space Marines, and it's something.
I haven't picked up a brush since our fundraiser. The marathon.
But you did pretty awesome that one. You got 3 figs done? 5 figs. Oh,
5 figs done. Because it got a little slower towards. Also I played a bunch of it because we also had the folks in playing the card games and that as well. Genesis was here too. They're great people. Really and we had a great time and a lot of people to play it and buying us out. So we had to buy more product for that stuff. Great card game because it brings in the idea of like our wargaming with a card game. So there's a lot of opportunity there for it.
So I'm excited to see where that game goes this year. So Jason and the crew over at Genesis have given us a little bit of sneak peeks, but there's some awesome things coming up for that game, so I'm really excited.
I think the next is called Metamorphosis. I think
that sounds right.
Sort of because they just bought the company recently too. It's a husband and wife team there, just lovely people. They deserve our support for the thing itself. But what I have been doing though lately, and I thought this would never be something coming out of my mouth, is I've been buying and playing Magic.
Yeah, our whole close friend group, myself, and all of our kind of friend group, all took the plunge back into Magic, and that's it's a bit all consuming and dominating. So, but in a good way. We've just been playing very friendly Commander, a lot of just pre-constructed decks.
Friendly at all. It's not friendly.
We had a 3-hour game 2 days ago, something like that.
I don't remember. All
it was like 7 board wipes. It was fun.
My license expired by the end of it. That's all I remember. It was still a lot of fun. I like Commander because it's not competitive. We've all been playing with mostly pre-con decks and that sort of thing so far.
Pretty tame. So.
Yeah, it's pretty tame stuff in that. But I'm at the point now where I'm ready to start building, and I figured out my theme for the year. So all I'm going to be doing is, so my background is for like non-worky stuff and that sort of thing is I love film. I went to school for film, and I love the whole thing. And my main thing is I love horror movies. Yeah. So, well, you know that for that. So the whole point is, so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to make my decks themed around monster themes. So not just your regular zombie one, which I'm going to do a zombie one, of course.
You have to.
But you gotta have to do a zombie deck. But I want to do one around, like obviously with Innistrad coming out, vampires will be easy, werewolves will be easy. Yeah. I want to do something around constructs, like a Frankenstein monster theme one. You gave me an idea for Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, Merfolk. There's
Merfolk and that sort of thing for
right behind Innistrad. We have Aether Drift coming 3 weeks back-to-back releases. And there's a new precon in that, which is like undead / mummy focused. So there's going to be
Mummy is another one I need to do. Boris Karloff, the original Mummy, in the movies. And then you were cruel enough to tell me that, because I don't follow a lot of the subsets for Magic and that sort of thing. Like I knew there was that Transformer one because you're a big Transformer guy.
Yeah, too. You and I haven't really been back in Magic for decades. Like, we've kind of just been a while. Dip our toes in once in a blue moon, but now we're back in.
And there was they told me about the idea of King of the Monsters, of course, which is Godzilla, and so that was a set a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
But
Good long
I ended up
time ago.
finding a sealed booster box,
Yeah.
which I think Justice and I are going to come on and open up because he's going to explain to me how to do it because I've never built a commander deck.
Yep. Yep.
So I have to learn how to do that. I'm excited about it because I only need to have one card in my collection, and I can just buy cards and have things in my collection.
Oh,
But I
yeah,
don't
of
need
course.
complete sets because I'm really need to have everything of something, and this is
Well,
something
especially with
this is
commander,
going to be hard.
everything in your deck is a one of, right? Like
It's
so-
one off, so it's easy enough to do. For that, so we'll be opening up that and seeing what type of Godzillas I got. Because you just found me my first Godzilla card.
Yeah, we actually happen to have one in the case, which I thought we had sold all of them for sure by now. But sure enough, yeah, we always have amazing stuff coming through.
Yeah.
So
Because that was the Japanese promo
yeah,
Mecha
yeah,
Godzilla,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
For that. So it's in Japanese, but we'll figure that out. Luckily, I'm taking Mandarin, not the same, obviously, but I have a translation helpers tablet that I can use. I can switch over to Japanese and figure out what the thing bloody well says to get all that figured out. But yeah, so it's fun. So the focus of what these are going to be each week is we'll talk a bit about what we're doing and hobby wise and that sort of stuff. But we're going to get into like previews, up and coming things. So it's going to be
going on
right
at the
across
shop?
the board. What's going on in the shop? What tournaments are coming up? That sort of thing, just to keep people more informed and hopefully give people ideas. Because if you're not near a local gaming store, hopefully your local store will do similar things, or even better things, and you'll tell us about them so we can do them here as well.
Yeah,
That's the main thing.
100%.
All right. So what we're going to do is we are going over. We have our Mecha Weekly Report. So again, Justice got us all set up here. I'm very happy about that. Brian and I know how to use computers and that sort of thing, but we haven't had enough time to dedicate to learning this specific program. So if the screen goes black or all of a
Hence
sudden
why
you get it
I'm
in
kind
Russian,
of like transparent and half ghostly, but we're gonna figure it.
we're gonna figure everything out, folks. But the
I'm
important
not dead, I promise.
He's not dead, but you'll be able to see the actual pieces of what's going on. So let's take a look and see what we have for the up here on the report. So let me get over here. So I think I've hit this and that. Aha! So the first thing we're talking about is breaking news. We're going to talk about Games Workshop. Why is that? Well, it's because we do a lot of Games Workshop here.
A lot of Warhammer. Of every shape, size, and variety, for sure. So coming out this week, hopefully, if GW can make it on time, they did have a blizzard, so they did put out a notice to all the retailers letting them know that things might be a little delayed over the next week or so, but they were back in office on Monday, so hopefully we get caught up. But coming this weekend is everything, all the new orcs. So we have.
We'll throw you on Death Corps Creed.
That's coming next week. That's going to be coming next week, and that's the thing that everybody's crazy excited about is going to be the Death Core box. This is the thing that's drowning everybody's attention out because everybody's been waiting since Christmas. This was revealed pre-Christmas, and this is the
Way pre-Christmas.
Yeah, first big hot ticket item out of the gate this year is going to be the new Death Core box. We still have a couple left. I know it is sold out in 5 minutes on GW's site and sold out everywhere else, but this is also the only way to get the collector's edition of the new Imperial Guard Codex, which looks fantastic. So this box is going to be insane. Everyone's going crazy. But the stuff that's supposed to be out this weekend is going to be Auric Worklands. So all the new Age of Sigmar Orc stuff. So they're getting some terrain, they're getting a new book, and they're getting some endless spells finally after 10 years of the game being out. So there's some good hype about that, and that ties in perfectly with a lot of the stuff we have going on at the shop this week. It's a very Age of Sigmar centric week for us. Tomorrow night we have our Age of Sigmar narrative campaign is continuing. So for that, we've started a slow grow narrative league that's very story driven.
Yeah.
And we're continuing that tomorrow night. We're going up to 1,250 points. So
You started at 500.
we started this one
Or-
750. I think.
Oh,
we started.
okay,
Yeah,
so
we
you started a little
higher
higher.
this one.
Okay.
Because of the way that the new battalions work in 4th edition was a lot harder for army composition.
Gotcha.
So we're at 1250, and then on top of that, this weekend we're doing a special one-day friendly team tournament that's actually going to tie into that campaign. So anybody who plays in the campaign is actually going to get campaign rewards for coming out and playing with a friend in that tournament, and that's going to be a free tournament that's all campaign driven.
So it's only people that are in the campaign are
no
playing in
other
that
people
event.
are welcome to join, but if you're in the campaign, you get the added benefit of actually getting to get some extra XP for your army and have your guys level up, as well as it's going to influence the campaign storyline.
So, like, explain to people that maybe don't know what a campaign is. And so,
Yeah,
talk about
so
what
there's an
you're-
overall narrative that's basically running. We're actually fighting in a place in actually called the Flamescar Plateau. And what that means is that there's an overall narrative that players are contributing to, as well as trying to take territory in that land. So when we play on campaign night, all of the tables get themed with their own unique rules to a spot on the map that players are basically competing and fighting over, as well as there's extra artifacts and relics that they can get. And we're using a Path of Glory system where their units can gain experience and actually become more powerful over the course of that campaign.
Nice.
So that stuff's going to be wrapped into the special one-day tournament that we have going on Saturday, which is a doubles tournament. So it should be just a fun, relaxed, very casual, just enjoyable day to basically force some people to play in a teams tournament, which is, in my opinion, the best way to play. That's generally how Kevin and I love to play.
Yeah, that's what we always say. Because I'm not super competitive, or no, that's not fair. If I get in competitive situations, I get uber competitive. And I don't like that about myself. I don't know how to either have it at 5. It's either at 0 or 10 for me. So it's my own personal problems. I really appreciate everyone that does really well in singles tours, all that sort of stuff. You do well in those things. I've done well in singles tours too. It's too much for me.
Yeah, it's
just
a lot
too
of
much.
Anxiety.
Oh, and I have
So
enough of
and then the following weekend we do have I guess what we'll say is a big boy tournament. So our friend Josh Akins is over at Dwellers Below is helping to run a proper Age of Sigmar GT, the first one of the new year for us. So there will be a lot of guys traveling for that one, and we have a bunch of guys from Team Canada that come down to play.
Cool.
So that'll be the following weekend. So a lot of Age of Sigmar going on over the next 2 weeks for us. And then, like you showed off, we do have next week is a big deal. We have that new Krieg box, which is going to be setting the tone for 40K.
Yeah, so let's work on the slide thingies here. Then we'll, anything we miss in the slides, again, we'll get working on this stuff more. And maybe next week, too, we can share some pictures from campaign night.
Yeah,
especially like the map you've made and everything else, to give people a better idea of what the flavor's all about. But we have Las Vegas opens, obviously, this weekend. And we're told that there's going to be a good Is this going to be like better than what they normally do at Adepticon, or what are you expecting?
No, I mean, sometimes LVO can always be hit or miss, but showing GW has given us a little bit of a glimpse this week. I think this is going to be another kind of in-betweener one where we're just going to get a little bit of tidbits. I think this one's probably going to be a little underwhelming. I think this year Adepticon is going to be the big banger. We know we're expecting probably a new Horus Heresy this summer. And there is a absolute boatload of big stuff to come for the rest of the year for Games Workshop. So
yeah, it's interesting how they have it too, because they have obviously the two pillar games, 40K and Sigmar, but then they have Old World and Necromunda.
Yeah, I think
really push out, and Black Library.
Necromunda's been getting a lot lately, but it has been a lot of Forge World stuff. So hopefully we'll see some more new exciting plastics coming down the line for that. And Old World, we know next up on the docket is going to be High Elves, and that stuff has already started to kind of get leaked out there. So I know there's a lot of people who've been waiting a long time for the High Elves to come.
That's the hard thing, is they just didn't put it out very quickly, and that was a
it
challenge.
That first year was a challenging year. We only got 3 releases, 3 armies for that first year. So we just had literally this last week we had. I almost called them Cities of Sigmar. We had the Empire of Man, and so we'll see how that's doing. And then I think we're probably going to try to do some events for it this year. We're going to test the waters and see if there's a demand for it, and if we can get enough people excited and on board, we'll probably try to do at least 1 or 2 one-day, very casual tournaments for that. So
awesome. And we have we're trying to relaunch Necromunda in the store too.
Yes, there's going to be a big push for Necromunda. We have some new friends that have joined us. They have their own boutique, not Necromunda model studios that they're promoting. and they wanted to do a narrative campaign. So we said we're more than happy to support that. So the plan is, as of right now, I think they're hoping to launch that in April. So it's going to be a little bit of time, but that should give people enough time to build up their war bands. So.
Exactly, and their intention too at the beginning is they'll have war bands for people to borrow to start with the intention of hopefully they're going to enjoy it enough to then invest in the different ones they do.
100%.
So that'd be pretty cool.
Necromunda is one of those games too where you kind of have to have some really good community banner waivers to hold everybody's hands because it's a bit more crunchy to dive into.
Oh, it totally is. Well, what was it? How many years ago did we go and say, "Oh, we're getting back into Necromunda and buy our armies"?
I think it was like pre-COVID or right after COVID. It was an Adepticon.
The first one we went back to.
Yeah, so it would have been like 2021, and oh my god, it's 25 now. So 4 years. Yeah.
Well, I still have the boxes.
Yeah, we got everything. One day. So maybe this is the year.
Who did you choose?
I went with Redemptionists, which is like the subgroup inside of.
That's the flamey one.
Yeah, everybody's on fire.
Everybody's on fire. Yeah.
Fire on everything.
And I went Goliath because they're awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay.
And then this is long term. This is one of the things that people are most excited for. This is probably one of the big 40K releases this year. They showed us new Fulgrim. We're getting another Chaos Primarch coming back. That's going to be in the spring. We're thinking probably around Easter, but we'll probably, knowing GW, we'll probably get a collector's box some point before then. So just early spring, probably around Easter, it's going to be all things Chaos, and we're hearing probably a lot of the other Chaos armies are going to be coming around the same time. And the big rumor on the street is that Demons of Chaos are going away. They are getting rolled into their god-specific factions, very much like they do in Age of Sigmar. So I place a lot of stock in that rumor if I was a betting man. As sad as it is if you're a Demons of Chaos player, but you're probably going to get effectively 4 new armies. They're gonna roll you into the other ones, so you're gonna have a little bit more options in some ways. But yeah, so it's gonna be a wild ride.
Demons of Chaos were hard to play though.
Very disparate factions. So
well, because they couldn't play in the shooting phase, most of them.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll do just like they did in Age of Sigmar, where they'll give you a special probably digital list for Bellicor, where Bellicor will be the guy that lets you run just demons of all flavors. If you want.
No. Putting them in as long as they don't go away, because there's a lot of great demon models.
I don't think they're.
I love demon models.
So, and you know what? If you're like a World Eaters player, that's exciting because your range just doubled. Now you have twice as many options. They only had like 4 units previous to this, so now they're gonna have twice as many. So that's exciting too. Same with Thousand Suns. I think having all the Tzeentchian units in there makes a huge amount of sense.
Yeah. All right, we have
Magic.
Oh, that's probably because we have magic stuff coming out.
Yes, we always have magic stuff coming out.
Yes, we do.
So next Friday, everyone is super excited for Innistrad Remastered is coming. So this is a very exciting, hotly anticipated set. Vampires are finally coming back. We're getting all the best hits of Innistrad. I know everyone in the shop is dying to get their hands on that and crack it open. Kevin and myself split a box, so we're going to be opening that. We'll probably open it on stream.
We'll open on stream. Justin and I also bought a box.
Yeah, so we are looking forward. Someone's hoping to pull that high-end Edgar Markov, who's one of the most renowned Magic characters of all time. So
that's going to be the big chase card.
Yes, this is a serialized card. I think there's 1 of 500. If you pull any of those, you are you're making a lot of money. You're adding a very unique card to your collection.
So we just have to go and make sure we find out what Post Malone's email address is, and offer it there first.
Yes, 100%. Especially if you get the big number, get like number 1 or the last number or something. Yeah.
So our event though, it's not a pre-release because
there's no pre-release for this.
No pre-release. So this is a draft thing where
so basically
you get your cards.
We decided to celebrate this new set. Basically, it's at each store's discretion if they want to do anything fancy, and we decided we would do a traditional draft, especially given the nature of this set where it's got a lot of fun, like showcasey cards and old horror. Yeah, the like the poster cards. It'll be a fun draftable set, so we're gonna do a draft for release night.
You had me at the poster cards. These cards are awesome. They're sometimes hard to read what the heck they're doing, but they look like the old 50s B movie giant monster cards.
So maybe, especially with it being like a Friday night, maybe we'll do like almost like a Halloween spin on it or something. Do like a Friday the 3rd. It'd be funny if it was coming out on the 13th, but
that would have been awesome. Though you're totally right. Well, maybe we'll throw some horror movies on the TV that night and get those things going. And it's 3 pods of 6 we're limiting it to next Friday.
That's the plan for now. I mean, obviously we can always change things around, but for pre-sale tickets, we're doing 3 pods of 6. We're going to try to fill those up and just have a really fun, relaxed draft night to celebrate and enjoy the new set.
And what is it, like 6 booster packs a person then?
Oh, you would ask me that on the fly. No, for draft, I want to say it's 3 packs per person.
3 packs per person.
But I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and look at the
details. I think, we'll tune in later on, or just look on the website. It'll tell you what the rules are.
It's all listed on our website
mechagames.ca.
Ticket information.
All right, but that sounds like fun because I'm not like the passing thing really bugs me because it's like giving away your children. It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you open a very, very good pack, you've got a very hard choice to make of what you take and what you pass on. But everybody's in that same boat.
Everyone's in the same boat because I played an altered draft thing at Gen Con, another card game, and someone ended up getting a god pack, packed up their things and just left because there was no way they were passing it along over the other way. So it kind of sucked, but you can't blame the person either. It's one of those hard things to do. But we had that coming up, and then a couple weeks later, then we have a real big boy set.
3 weeks after it is another standard set. It's called Aether Drift. So it is it's kind of like another steampunky set. There's going to be a lot more vehicles introduced in this set again. So that's gonna think of the set is almost like a Mad Max Death Race theme.
Will it go with our Fallout cards?
With our there's probably going to be some overlap there between the like steampunky side,
but not as many mutants or things.
No, probably not as much mutants. It's going to be a lot of fun vehicles and silly things, and a lot of probably energy cards.
Is there any subset we have to worry about in that, though?
Oh, there's always subsets. I think this one only has 1 or 2 though, so it's not as bad. And then there's new types of bundles, and I'm sure there's going to be new foilings and everything under the sun because it's Magic. And we're going to do for both Innistrad and for that, we will try to get full set reveals ahead of time. So we're going to have some special guests on here to break down those sets and tell us what they think about it. People who actually know what they're talking about when it comes to Magic. So some of our local guys.
We meet Ryan and Max.
Yeah, Ryan and Max. So.
They're good. Justice is awesome too. Like we have a lot of awesome people.
And
we're not those.
No,
we're just not those. We just enjoy it.
We're coming back to Magic after being out for like 20 years, and so we're excited and we're learning right along with everybody else.
I'm learning what I want.
And at the end of the month, it's going to be a little quiet. So actually, on release weekend for Innistrad, we have a lot of the local scene here are high-end competitive players, and they are going to go compete in nationals in Ottawa. So in a couple weeks' time. So we're going to wish everybody really good luck for that, and that's the big tournament of the year. So we'll see. Hopefully, our assistant manager Justice can maybe make a name for himself.
Yeah, just keep a watch out for the Mecha Game shirt. Yeah. There should be a few of those floating around that convention floor, and hopefully they do well. Yeah. But our we'll call them our team in that because we have a lot of people that go out there and they're really proud of coming from Mecha sort of thing. But they've been doing well in the Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
they've been doing well in a lot of things, and of course in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, we just had Justice was at a big Star Wars tournament this weekend for Star Wars Unlimited, and he did well. He got 35 out of 110 or something like that.
Fantastic.
So top third. He did
That's
quite
nice. All right, what else do we have here? We talk Modern 1K Sunday
this weekend. Perfect lead into that big tournament we were just talking about. So this weekend is going to be our last Modern 1K of this season before the big tournament. So this is going to be our local scene, last chance to get all their practice in before the big tournament.
These are the decks that most likely will be taking to Ottawa.
Most likely,
with maybe some tweaks.
Yeah, you got less than a week turnaround. So this is going to be everyone trying to feel out the meta one last time before they head off to the big leagues. And we I think there's probably about 12 to 14 locals who are going to be going to that. I know one gentleman in particular, Sam, who's one of our best players locally. He's hoping to place in top 8 because then he'll get an invitation, I believe, to Worlds if he can pull that off.
Oh,
And
it's
he's been
amazing.
shooting for this for a long time, so we're going to wish him the
He's
best
a
of
very
luck.
talented player, and also he can put an entire hamburger in his mouth at one time. He's a varied skill, very eclectic person.
And then
We love our Sam. Sam's awesome.
And then and then that's kind of teasing. We got some fun Magic events coming up at the end of next month as well, when we're going to be doing. We'll talk about a bit more about this in the near future, but we're going to be doing our first Big Boy Con, so Mecha Con, and we're going to be doing that at the hotel, basically, and convention center across the street from us. So we've also just put out all the details for that on our website for all the different events going on, and we'll be talking more about that in the
Well,
weeks
yeah.
to
Well,
come.
we next week. Let's talk about what type of events we're going to have on there for it, and figure out what's going on, what you can, because tickets are on sale. So we'll bring up what the tickets are
Yeah,
for
and all the
next week
different
and that
events
sort of
for
thing.
sure.
But we don't want to keep this like amazingly long and that sort of thing for it. So hopefully this is something that gets you a better idea of what's going on here. We'll add more and more to our slideshow and
Yeah.
as we move along. And we just want to make sure people know what's going on. Offer suggestions in the comments. Please like and subscribe, because our intent is each Tuesday we're going to do this, booking a meeting for each of us to make
Yeah.
sure we get it done. And that's one thing we want to do. We want to be more consistent, really develop what's going on here. We have some big things going
And
on
let
this
us know
year.
too, if whether you're local or not, what kind of things you'd like to see that come out of this channel for the store. Do you want to hear more about like the in-depth coverage of the local events going on? Do you want to hear more about Kevin and I's perspective on certain issues? Do you want to see more community spotlights on the different groups and events and games we have getting played in the store? So
Yeah.
all those things, we'd love to hear your feedback, and just let us know what we can do to help grow our community, both locally and online.
Fantastic. Well, that was a pretty good start, Brad, I think,
think
if
so.
we don't say so ourselves. So hopefully tune in next week. Of course, tune into the other shows we're coming on, because, again, our content's going up and running. Our green room is pretty much finished now, so we're getting better. We're just working on a few tweaks here to make it even better as we move
And
along.
we're going to learn how to use all the software and programs, and well, we'll see.
We'll see about that. But until next time, have a great week in gaming, eh?
Take care, guys.